Well, everybody, the PS5 Pro is out. It's actually been out for about 5 days now. It was released on November 7th. Now, this had been rumored for quite a while, and then they finally announced it on September 10th. They had us waiting for about 2 months until they released it, like I said 5 days ago. Now, here's the thing. It is priced at $699 US dollars and pounds and 799 euros. Yeah, it's a pretty hefty price tag, and from what I'm seeing, a lot of people have criticized it very much for making very minimal improvements to their specs when compared to just the base model of the PS5. So it's kind of been review bombed at this point. I mean, even before it was released, a lot of people were pointing this out, and now that it finally is out, yeah, it would seem the same can actually be said for people who actually have it now. Now, here's the thing. Remember, let's go back to the COVID times. Remember 2020 when the base model of the PS5 and the Xbox Series were released? This was late 2020. Now, do you remember just how bad it was as far as like wanting to get your hands on one of these babies? It was insane. I mean, good luck going to Walmart or Best Buy and trying to just buy one at regular price just right off the shelves. No, not at all, actually. For a time that started with people buying toilet paper en masse, it seemed that people were buying, PS5s and Xboxes en masse. It was ridiculous. You couldn't buy these consoles legitimately in stores for the standard price. I don't know what it was. Let's say $500, maybe $600. I honestly don't remember. But you could buy it on eBay from some dude for like $800 or $900. Or you could get in on an auction. Oh, hey, this one's being listed at $600. Oh, it just went up to $700. Never mind. Yeah, it was crazy times, and a lot of this, while some of it definitely was likely short supply due to COVID lockdowns and people not being in factories working, a lot of this also had to do with scalpers, people who go out of their way to buy as many of these consoles or, whatever product it is as they can so that they kind of control the supply of it, or at least in their physical area, and then they can sell it for what is higher than the retail price, and then they make a profit. Well, here's the thing. Let's fast forward now to the present. Two things have really happened here. Two things that are much different than how things were in 2020. One being that apparently Sony really did good with the amount of supply they had for PS5 Pros when they launched it 5 days ago. So the supply is high, and the other thing is that the demand is low. For kind of the obvious things that I stated, a lot of people kind of think that it's just not worth the money for what you get from the product. It's kind of minimal spec increases or improvements. So in 2020, low supply, high demand. Now in 2024 with the PS5 Pro, low demand and high, or at least exceptional, supply. So here's what happened as a result. So scalpers have, still done their thing here. Yeah, they've bought up a bunch of PS5 Pros hoping to sell those puppies at, maybe $100 or $150 more than what they got it at. Well, it turns out there are actually a lot of reports right now that these scalpers have made a terrible decision. Yeah, they are struggling to actually resell these consoles, and in many cases, they are actually reselling them at a loss. Best case scenario, a lot of the time, they're reselling it at just the simple market value. Again, that's best case scenario. Yeah, there's different articles that have been talking about this in the past 5 days that this console has dropped. It's apparently pretty interesting to look at websites like Facebook Marketplace and eBay. Like I said, this console is selling for $699 US dollars or pounds. And like one website that I saw said that one was being listed at $560. Some are able to get it up to $680 or pounds. Again, that's still somewhat of a loss. The general range that I am seeing that it's reported they're being sold at are anywhere between $510 to $670 or pounds. That is a significant loss for these scalpers. They are very much suffering this time around. They are losing a ton of money. And I actually want to take this opportunity to tell you about my sympathy I have for the scalpers. So here we go. Yeah, oh no, you don't need to turn up your volume. You were correct to not hear me. I was not saying anything there. Yeah, scalping is just something that I don't respect at all. I mean, and I don't think that's controversial to say. I mean, you're just willingly doing this, I don't know, greedy thing, or at least to me it seems very greedy, all to gain a profit just because you were able to purchase these items early, or just before other people could. It's pretty ridiculous. So yeah, I'm seeing this situation with these scalpers are happening kind of all around the globe right now. It's happening in the US, it's happening in the UK, it's even happening in Japan. The one thing I do have to say is that the one thing that's actually being possibly benefited from the scalpers, maybe they're selling it with some sort of a profit, is actually the external disk drive for the PS5 Pro. Yeah, so I guess this did not ship with a disk drive, and a lot of people are wanting the disk drive, which I find very surprising. I talk a lot about how, you know, I really feel that digital is being very much widely embraced worldwide. It's very much the preferred method of gaming, but I don't know, maybe I've got some sort of a misunderstanding here. And apparently Sony does too, because yeah, they did not apparently supply enough of these. A lot of people are really wanting this external disk drive. They don't like that the PS5 Pro does not have a disk drive. So maybe something for Sony to reconsider in the future. Maybe they shouldn't just ditch their whole disk drive in the console thing, or at least not yet. At the end of the day, there are definitely people who still prefer physical copies. So maybe that is a small W for the scalpers there, maybe, but overall, yeah, massive L for the scalpers. I am nothing but happy and satisfied. That's just the best way I can put it, to hear a story like this. I do not feel sorry for these scalpers.